everybody. I'm meteorologist Ashley Smith here with your Sunday streaming show. Of course, as I mentioned in the headline, we're going to be talking about warmer weather. We're also going to be talking about the chances for rain on Halloween, and not just rain, but potentially thunderstorms as well. So, yeah, I mentioned yesterday that I expected that the Halloween forecast would change as we got closer. It's kind of changed in a different way than I expected, but there are some changes to that forecast, so we'll talk about that. Of course, it is game day. We're officially 2 hours from kickoff for the Bengals there at Paycor Stadium. Still looking for that first season home win. This season they have not won at home yet. So, yeah, that's probably the big headline today is, of course, for the game. And, yeah, as far as the forecast, I guess let's just get right into it because, again, we do have a lot to talk about. Of course, it's overall very quiet weather expected, but definitely some happenings, some things going on in the forecast. Okay, so outside right now, it's gorgeous. Hopefully you got a chance yesterday to enjoy it. Today's going to be similar, maybe a little bit cooler today compared to yesterday, but still a really nice day overall. I mean, you can see outside from our cameras across the region, just seeing those clear blue skies and enjoying picture perfect weather. It's starting to warm up nicely now that we have that sunshine out. So that's helping out as well. Just wanted to show you some of those lows this morning. Notice at CVG, one of the warmer spots, Oxford as well. A lot of this is kind of the topography, of course, what's kind of surrounding it. Low-lying valley spots like Lunkin, of course, we all know is kind of in that valley. You're going to have those cooler temperatures, cooler morning temperatures especially. So that's why some of these spots are 10 degrees cooler than others, especially here from Harrison to CVG. So 32 was the low in Harrison. It was below freezing in Hamilton. Oxford and CVG stayed in the 40s. I think tonight's going to be another cold night. We'll likely have those temperatures dropping into the 30s again tonight. So, yeah, just something to keep in mind. Of course, if you have any of those tender plants, maybe not a bad idea, of course, again, to protect them because we do have that chance. Sorry, I just want to adjust this a little bit. Now I over adjusted it. There we go. Yes, we do have that chance to see that frost again tonight. So anyways, these are the lows that we had this morning, and now we've warmed up nicely. I'll show you those temperatures here coming up. Obviously, no threat of any kind of rain today, even as we widen the view here. Yeah, nothing showing up. Dry weather all across the region. These are the current temperatures. So again, we're already starting to warm up. 48 in Harrison, 52 at CVG, so we're about 10 degrees warmer than where we were this morning. 52 also at Lunkin. And now the topography not as big of a deal because we now have that sunshine. You're not looking at those temperatures sinking or the air sinking. And so temperatures are more uniform. 40s to the northwest, 50s for everyone else. But it is going to be a comfortable day today. We expect it to be very pleasant as far as those temperatures, and again, kind of near normal for this time of year. So again, kind of what we would expect out there today with temperatures in the 60s. Right now it's CVG, and remember CVG is just, if we turn this camera, 180 degrees. CVG is directly behind it. 52 degrees, winds out of the east at 6 miles per hour. We angled it this way for the sunrise, and it was gorgeous this morning. There was a little bit of a wind chill this morning. It felt like it was in the 30s, even though the temperature there at CVG was in the 40s. High temperature today, about 61, 62 degrees. It will be very pleasant. It will be dry all throughout the day today. You don't have to worry about the threat of rain at all. Okay, so it's going to be cool today, but near normal for this time of year. It's going to be cold tonight. We see those lows again dropping down into the 30s. And then we are starting to see that warm up already by tomorrow afternoon. We're 10 degrees warmer than today. And then we are looking at warm weather sticking around throughout much of the week, including for Halloween. It is going to be mild, but it looks like it's going to be wet at times on Thursday. Tomorrow, FC Cincinnati takes on New York City FC. This is, of course, for the MLS Cup playoffs. So the playoffs are beginning at home, which is pretty cool. If you're going to that game, that match, it looks pretty nice. At kickoff, temperatures will be in the low 60s and halftime in the 50s. So another nice night there at TQL Stadium. Hopefully they can, I think it's best of 3, so hopefully they can win. Then I believe they go to New York City. If it's tied after that, then they'll come back to Cincinnati. Rain chances, not a lot. We're going to fast forward this until Thursday. That's when we see our next chance for showers, perhaps even a few thunderstorms across parts of the area. So here is what happens Thursday. Already Thursday morning, we're starting to see that rain kind of threaten the region just barely to our west around sunrise. And then it continues to move east into the afternoon and evening. We do think that this rain will impact trick-or-treating for a lot of folks. Now, I do think that the timing with this will change. However, because I mentioned earlier that the forecast for Halloween had changed a little bit, what I think has changed is that it's looking like more in the way of thunderstorms in addition to the shower chance. So we could even have some rumbles of thunder, some lightning out there as the kids are trick-or-treating, which obviously would not be very good. So something that we'll be keeping an eye on. I don't necessarily think it's going to be severe weather. However, being this far out, the Storm Prediction Center does have, let's see, they have an area highlighted for Wednesday. For Wednesday off to our west, like pretty far to our west, as far east as it gets is like central Missouri. Again, that is day 4. Day 5 would be Thursday, and right now they don't have any area highlighted, but I do suspect that that's something that will change as we get closer. But basically the bottom line is right now we have the chance for thunderstorms on Thursday. While they do not look severe or even strong for that matter right now, it's something that we'll be monitoring as we get closer. The rain gets out of here Thursday evening, and Friday morning will be dry. And then Saturday and Sunday we have at least a chance for an isolated shower across parts of the tri-states. So this is what your Halloween forecast looks like. Temperatures in the upper 60s at 5 o'clock, staying in the 60s really throughout trick-or-treating. So mild, but there is that chance for thunderstorms. So I don't know that it's enough to necessarily change your plans. Just, maybe think about that costume, kind of planning for some wet weather around that costume. So maybe a clear poncho so you can still see that costume, and an umbrella incorporated into it might not be a bad idea, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of walking. Rainfall totals, and this is all falling on Thursday. So anywhere from, and the models are kind of all over the place with this. It's looking like we'll see around 1/2 inch throughout the day on Thursday. Notice that this model has some areas seeing higher amounts. So I would prepare for anywhere around 1/2 inch up to 1 inch. Likely those numbers will come down. But of course, if you do see a thunderstorm, then those totals could be even higher. So much needed rain finally headed our way, but it's on Halloween. So kind of unfortunate with the timing, but we do, of course, still need the rain. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast with temperatures returning to the 70s tomorrow, staying in the mid to upper 70s Tuesday and Wednesday. Thunderstorms will be possible Thursday for that Halloween forecast. And then we drop back down into the 60s for Friday and Saturday. So we are seeing a cool down behind that front that moves through on Halloween, back down to the mid 60s Friday, and isolated showers possible Saturday, and of course again Sunday, which remember next Sunday the Bengals are at home again, so 2 back-to-back home games, and I believe they're both 1 o'clock kickoffs as well. Let's look at beyond the 7-day as we look well into the month of November. So again, there's next Sunday, which does look like at least a scattered rain chance, with temperatures still rather mild for this time of year in the 60s. Normal high today is 62, so it'll be even lower than that by next weekend. And then we drop back into the 50s for the end of the 14-day forecast. And looks like we dry out for that weekend, which is the weekend before Veterans Day. So there are some events surrounding Veterans Day. I know that weekend, and then into, of course, Veterans Day is officially on that Monday. So right now it looks dry but cooler. So finally kind of more fall-like weather appears to be here by the end of that 14-day forecast. Hold on. Okay. I read through some of these questions. Good morning, Wanda. Wanda is hoping for a Bengals win for sure. Okay. I did want to make a couple of notes. Obviously, the forecast overall is pretty quiet. We do get warmer, if anybody's just now joining. We do get warmer with temperatures back we'll switch to this camera briefly. Back into the 70s starting tomorrow and then throughout much of the upcoming week. This is easier. I know Steve does this when he's live. Turns to this camera when you answer questions because the questions are like directly on this computer. However, the lighting isn't as good. The lighting's way better. Look, camera 1, camera 2. The lighting's so much better with camera 2. Anyways, I digress. What I wanted to mention is that again tonight, which I believe we're on the newscast is on time tonight, meaning at 10 o'clock. We do have football on, but it's like the 4:20 game or whatever. So the World Series, they're off. It's a travel day. They'll go back to New York. And so what that means is that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I think they'll be in New York that entire time. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we have those World Series games. They start around 8 p.m. I think it's like 8:09. And so our newscast will be pushed to 11 p.m., the late newscast. I mentioned that because I'll be filling in for Steve those days. So I'll be on at our late newscast those days, as well as the 5 and 6 p.m. Tonight, you'll see Jeff Creighton again. The newscast is on normally, so you'll be able to catch him. He's filling in for Ethan while he takes some much-deserved time off and enjoys some time with his friends. And then, yeah, other than that, I think that's all I wanted to say. So yes, this evening you'll have Jeff Creighton handling the weather, and then tomorrow morning it's Frank and Catherine. That is normal. So, and then I'll be in the evening. So we have kind of a lot going on. Schedule-wise, I guess you could say, but yeah, wanted to make sure that got to all those questions. Oh, I know the other thing we were going to mention. Of course, we started this streaming show, if you were with us from the beginning, this particular one on the weekends, I don't know, a few months ago, back in June, I guess. I guess that's more than a few months, but either way, now we've had like some time to kind of get used to it. And also on Sundays, the newscast is a little bit different. So what we're thinking about doing is moving it to just after the 10 o'clock show, so like 10:15 a.m. and hoping that, I don't know, that could be a little bit better. Hey, Jeff, hold on one second. Basically, yeah, if we move it from 11 a.m. to 10:15, would anybody have major complaints? Please let me know. Jeff, when is it going to rain again? Thursday. Halloween looks like we have actually a pretty good chance at seeing some widespread rain. Let me pop that up for you. Okay, so we are dry all the way until Thursday. And then rain starts to move in Thursday morning through the afternoon and evening hours, and then finally advancing east by Thursday evening. And then rainfall totals, where'd that go? Rainfall totals could be as much as an inch in some spots. Now, we don't, at this time, I don't think it's enough to, maybe cancel your trick-or-treating plans, but I would definitely prepare for it to be wet during trick-or-treat hours. Now, of course, we are still 4 or 5 days away. A lot could change between now and then, but that's the way it looks right now. It does look wet on Thursday for Halloween. Yeah. Thanks for asking. Yeah, that's really, our next chance for rain, period. Steve and I were saying it's unfortunate, we've had hardly any rain the entire month. The heaviest rain that we had was on the first day of the month, and now it looks like we're going to get plentiful rain on the last day of the month. So it's kind of bookended. October has been very dry, but it's bookended by very wet days on the 1st and the 31st. So kind of interesting how that happens. I don't know that it's going to be enough to make up for the deficit because we're more than 2 inches below normal right now. So, but it's something. Okay. Hopefully everybody has some plans to watch the game, maybe with some friends, maybe just at your house. Maybe you're going to the game. You're like, maybe you're in traffic. I don't know. Should actually, that's actually an interesting thing. We should see if there is any traffic on the way to the game, which wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing, right? I mean, would mean a lot of people are going. I heard that there were a decent amount of Eagles fans that are going, which doesn't necessarily surprise me, but because it's drivable. It's like 9 hours, I think. I actually have a wedding in Philadelphia in December, and we've been toying with the idea of driving versus flying. Oh, where is it? Ow. Sometimes I like lose my graphics, and sometimes you can search for them, but this one I don't think I can. There we go. I knew if I looked long enough, I could find it. So yeah, there's definitely some traffic getting into the city, but it's not necessarily, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's cool. If there's an event going on, it'll pull it up on the map. I didn't know it did that. I guess I should do traffic more often. Actually, I should not. Yeah, of course, there are some roads that are slow, probably to get into the parking garages, I would imagine. Then obviously down near the banks, around some of those tailgate lots. Yeah. Kind of busy right there as well. Looks like actually coming across the Brent Spence Bridge isn't so bad. It's just coming down the cut in the hill that you run into some traffic, which honestly is very typical of this time. So I imagine a lot of people go early though, right? And you maybe like eat down at the banks, or you, you know, go to a tailgate or something. So you spend some time down there before the game. So now isn't probably the time that you're going to see a lot of traffic. Actually, that's not going to be what I want. So a little bit of slow traffic, but nothing significant. A couple areas on your approach to downtown could be a little thick. All right. Now I've gone on longer than I thought I would. I was like, oh, there's not much to talk about, and then here I am rambling. But I appreciate all of you for listening to me ramble. That is much appreciated. Hopefully you got some useful information. As I said earlier, I will be back with you tomorrow evening. So I actually have like 24 hours off before I have to be back, which is kind of fun. Normally it's actually not a decent break because I go from mornings to like dayside normally, but now I'm going from mornings to night. So yeah, so I will see you tomorrow evening. I will be up way past my bedtime. It's going to be an adjustment for me, but I'll be okay. You know, I'll get some caffeine and it'll be fine. But yes, Jeff Creighton will be on this evening, Frank and Catherine tomorrow morning, and I'll be on tomorrow night. Until then, I hope you have a great Sunday. I hope you enjoy the game and, you know, just enjoy the beautiful weather. Even if you're not a football fan, hopefully you get some time to get outside and just enjoy this beautiful Sunday. All right, I'll talk to you tomorrow.